Welcome back to the U.S. Cellular 250. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. And while we're under our fourth caution, Sam Hornish Jr. had to come back in because running at pace speed, we thought what rubber was on fire from the shredded. He had to come back in because it was getting worse and looking more and more like the situation we had last week with Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, and what you got here, I believe, guys, is that the brake duct caught on fire, and then the tire coming apart filled up the rotor. Then when he went back out, he introduced more air to it, which created like a torch. This is the end result.
When Carl Edwards was running beside him on yellow, he said there was some fluid coming out. He said something was leaking out. So, you know, obviously it wasn't brake fluid because he was able to stop in his pit box. So it might be something else.
Well, we told you Justin Allgaier's already got an issue, and he is out of the running. But now it is Jason Leffler. He's in 20th position, one lap down, back in pit road. Jim, what is going on?
Marty, as you can see, beating and banging underneath the right front of that 38 car for Jason Leffler. We told you about the splitter damage. From my vantage point, the splitter looks okay. The damage is further underneath that right front wheel, possibly with some of the tie rods. They are pulling that fender out as well. Now Leffler revs the engine, and he will pull away.
Well, you can't see it from your side on pit road, but he's obviously scraped the wall as well, and that created part of this issue.
Yeah, he scraped the wall because the right front tire went down. And if a driver has a car with a tight balance, meaning that the front won't turn, they're going to be in trouble. They're better off hitting pit road now and making a big adjustment, because you're going to have a right front tire problem if you're tight. The cars that are running best, Marty, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Carl Edwards, they're a little free. They need drive off. That's a good problem to have right now.
Well, here's the Fast 5 pit summaries, and David Mayhew, Stenhouse, Eric Almirola, Elliott Sadler's crew, and Josh Wise. We can tell you the 19 of Mike Bliss gets the lucky dog. He gets back on the lead lap. We now have 17 cars on the lead lap, but Jason Leffler is now a lap down, shown in 20th position, and it means that Reed Sorensen and Michael Annett, the two lone contenders, still on the lead lap. They're going to start side by side in 8th and 9th. There you see Edwards and Stenhouse up front, Mayhew and Josh Wise. And in row 2, row 3, you've got McDowell and Sadler. Then in row number 4, Kenny Wallace, there's Reed Sorensen.
This had to look like the last gas station for Elliott Sadler, because it's like, whoa, I'm on the lead lap, and I got one more swing at it. One more big swing. I can make an adjustment.
All right, so now David Mayhew finds himself in 3rd position. Let's check in once again with Rick DeBrule.
Well, what's going to be interesting about this next start is the status of his tires. Now, let's listen in on something that happened on the radio just a moment ago.
Sir, all the cars we were racing around had 4 tires. Way to hang on, though. You had the 90 laps on the left, and I mean, they really look good. Good wear, even all the way across there.
So think about that. He was able to stay with the leaders even though he had only changed 2 tires 90 laps before, which meant he really only had the same status of tires on 2 of them. What's it going to be like?
Well, and
this
here's
green flag flies, and he's got all 4.
Sorry, Rick, but we're going to find out one other thing. When we come back to green flag racing, we will have 90 laps to go, which is exactly where we talked about this pit window being. With these laps under caution, you think everybody can go ahead and hit the hammer, or are we going to see some more fuel savings?
Marty, I think the guys that have a loose car or a free balance can hit the hammer, but if you have a car that's tight and you're abusing that right front, you won't be hitting the hammer long, or you'll be hitting the wall.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you have to be loose right now. We're just seeing this track is so hard on right front tires because you're turning left all the time.
This capacity crowd on their feet at Iowa Speedway. Pace car has pulled off. Up front, it's Edwards and Stenhouse. They've been up there all night long. We're back to green, and boy, Carl just ignited off the line.
Yeah, I think Ricky Stenhouse spun the tires coming to the green. On the outside of David Mayhew.
Not only the dash for cash, this is the dash for the race win. Now, as everybody thinks they may be able to go the distance.
Ricky clears him off of turn 4.
Take a look at the number 2, Elliott Sadler. All of a sudden, the 2 cars come back to life. Remember when he was stuck in that last cycle? He was 15th, couldn't go forward, didn't fall backwards. And here he is after a great pit stop, running in the top 5.
This is a monumental comeback.
On on board with Reed Sorensen. Right now, Sorensen is in position to win the $100,000 in the Dash for Cash. And remember, he won back at Daytona.
It's a little distracting, you know, thinking about 100 grand as you're making a pass.
I don't think he's thinking about that right now.
Well, you never know, huh? Can you?
He might not have been listening to us.
Get on the radio and call him.
Yeah, tell him about it.
3 wide. Kenny Wallace underneath Josh Wise.
Oh, it's a
Michael
little tight.
McDowell thinks better of it. Look out. Kenny gets a little loose, and that opens the door for Drew Herring. You want to talk about a young man who's dedicated to the sport. Herring, his senior year of high school, was injured, shot accidentally in a hunting accident, and spent 9 days in the hospital, said it changed his entire perspective on life. He knows what this opportunity means. He knows what is at stake, and he has just wrapped his arms around it and is doing the job. I mean, we have been impressed by him, but I just found that out from him today. What a nice young man.
Yeah, that's inspiring. That's an amazing set of circumstances. You see Stephen Wallace making the pass on Uncle Kenny here.
And see, Unc.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, little contact when Stephen and Kenny went by, but it looked like it was on Kenny's part. He cut down all of a sudden.
How about Scott Wimmer? He's given the 70 car best ride we've seen in quite a while for that team.
Yeah, we saw Scott Wimmer actually get the left side tires on the apron. These guys aren't afraid to get below the yellow line on the very middle of the corner, Kenny. They're using that to their advantage to get the car to turn.
And we see that a lot at the short tracks. Oh, we got the 18 on pit road down. What's going on, Marty?
Jim?
Tough breaker Michael McDowell, he reported a vibration in the wheel on that last pit stop. Remember, this is the same car he led a bunch of laps with back in the May race. Michael McDowell's been having a great top 10 run. His crew chief Jason Ratcliffe cheerleading all the way. But this loose wheel, this vibration, this unscheduled pit stop, gonna really hurt the 18.
And you saw on the left side of your screen, Wimmer got loose, ran up the track, so action all over this place. And here comes Stenhouse saying, Carl, do you remember when I passed you late in May and went on to win this race? I'd like to do it again.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, Carl's unable to stay to the bottom of the racetrack. I think Ricky Stenhouse is faster on the short run. Carl seems to even out on the long run, meaning 30, 40 laps. He just completes the pass here.
Well, the last time he did
Slides up a little bit.
and here comes that crossover by Carl. These guys, you'd think this was the last lap. Oh, and they touch.
Is it the last lap?
No. When they did it in May, it was with 18 to go. We've got 82 to go.
Wow, look at
this.
Stenhouse.
And they are using up these tires. And here comes David Mayhew saying, hey, you guys keep beating on it. I'll pass at least one of you.
David Mayhew has done this all night. Just gone about his business, capitalizes. Well, a little contact here.
I might have to move you just a little bit, David, if I can get back to you.
Ricky really charges the corner. He drives deeper in the corner than anybody in the field tonight.
You wonder why this track sells out? This is the reason, folks. That every time we come here, there is such great action. Let's go back and show you a replay of what was going on between the teammates.
Right. Makes the pass, but he carries a little too much speed getting into the corner. Carl's close enough to his rear bumper to get him loose, does the crossover, and then a little contact, runs out of room on the exit.
And let's go on board from Carl's point of view.
Wow. I mean, Ricky's down in there underneath him, just pulling up the siding, gets him a little bit loose right there. But slips up, Carl gets back by him.
While all this is going on, Trevor Bayne has just pulled on pit road. There he is. He's now listed as 1 lap down. Could be worse.
We're seeing a lot of loose wheels tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing some strange things, that's for sure. That took a long time, and it looked, well, a little confusion. Now they're going to go to the left side tires.
Let's go to Shannon. Shannon?
Well, moments ago, Trevor Bayne said that right rear was still really not feeling good on the racetrack. He actually came down pit road that last pit stop, guys, and he had another loose wheel on the right side, so we'll definitely get down there and check to see if this could be the third one for the 16 tonight.
Well, and one other thing we just found out, he was posted by NASCAR because he pitted after the wave around. And so he had to come back in again. Anyway, and now they're going to post him again, we're just being told. So his night is going south as he is 3 laps down. He's going to have to do another pass through, according to what we've been told by NASCAR officials. So another rough night. Remember, the engine blew up on him late in the race at Indianapolis. And we're going to stay right here because we're hearing word that there may be some debris out on the track. Some of the teams are reporting it. as the race leader, Carl Edwards, lead over David Mayhew is almost a full second now, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 1.5 seconds behind.
David Mayhew is faster than Carl Edwards, and the car looks more comfortable. Kenny, you made that point earlier in the race that David Mayhew in the 33 looked really good through the corners and through the bumps.
Really rode the bumps good, and that seems to be a key to this racetrack.
Well, right now it is Carl Edwards. He has led a race high 98 laps. We've knocked down 175, which means just 75 to go here at the Iowa Speedway. Major League Baseball coverage continues on ESPN Sunday night at 8 Eastern. Boy, we got the Yankees and the Red Sox again. This time they're at Fenway. And then on Monday Night Baseball, the Sox head over to Minnesota to take on the Twins. That's at 7 Eastern. That game will be available on ESPN in the Minnesota area. It's baseball on ESPN Sunday, Monday night. Games are also available online at ESPN3.com. Back here at the Iowa Speedway, we have 68 laps to go. We're looking at the race leader. That's Carl Edwards. He's led 106 laps. His lead over David Mayhew is 1 second, and there is third place. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 1.5 seconds behind. And listen in on Ricky's radio after that side-by-side action with his teammate.
He's done when I get to him.
And that's all he said. So I have this feeling that maybe Ricky's not happy that Carl re-signed with Roush Fenway. Let's check in with Shannon. What do you got, Shannon?
Well, I think he was just really upset with how that last lap between the interaction between those two guys went. But his crew chief, Mike Kelly, came on, just told him to relax. And even Jack Roush got on the radio moments ago, guys, told Ricky, just be patient, and that's what he's going to do. Guys, there's a caution on the racetrack.
Yes, our fifth caution of the day has come out here at the Iowa Speedway. Waiting for the official reason why. Nobody has made contact with the wall. So we had some earlier reports of some debris out on the track.
Shannon mentioned that Jack Roush got on the radio. That's the equivalent of being called to the principal's office, you know, if you don't listen.
Well, there's a nice donut on the side of the 6 car, so there definitely was some contact.
There was some contact, but if Ricky's really upset, he should have not drove into 3 so hard and slid up and opened the door near as wide as he did.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys you can be mad at, but wait till the end of the race. You know, his crew chief came on, Mike Kelly, and handled it perfectly. Just relax.
Let's shift gears now, because now with this caution, does that take the fuel mileage equation out of this race? Can everybody just stay out, go the distance if they want to?
They can stay out, Marty, but I expect they're going to hit pit road because there's too much uncertainty about these right front tires.
Good point. Lucky dog is going to be for Jason Leffler. He will get back on the lead lap. That'll make him 17th, the last car on the lead lap. And you're asking, what about that dash for cash? Well, Reed Sorensen right now is shown in 5th. Michael Annett is shown in 13th. And we already told you that Justin Allgaier is now 63 laps down. They've come back out onto the track. They're in 30th. You're on board with Michael Annett. He's got some work cut out for him, and so does everybody else. And you're right, they are going to come down pit road. And the first one in is Carl Edwards. Jim?
That's right. Carl Edwards has asked for 4 tires, 1 round down in the left rear wedge. He's a little free again on entry and exit. Just wants to roll that corner, and he thinks he's got a winning car.
And Stenhouse, Ricky Stenhouse, still not happy with the handling of this car. They are going to put a rubber in the left rear, guys, so they know it's going to take a little bit longer, 4 tires, and a track bar adjustment for the 6.
Problems with Carl. They've got to back him up and put him back in the box. They did not get the tire. Looked like they didn't get it on.
It's interesting.
The left rear. Jim?
That's exactly what happened. Carl started to pull away. They stopped the car. The wrench was stuck on that wedge adjustment. They couldn't get it out. Then Carl goosed the engine just far enough to pull it over the line. The NASCAR official waved them back. So a big miscue on pit road here for the 60 team.
It's a big miscue, but I'm going to have to watch a replay because the key for the driver to leave is when the jack drops, right, Kenny? It's
Jack drops, she goes.
When the jack drops, the driver goes. That's the signal.
And remember, he had a speeding penalty last week at Indianapolis, so could it be another tough break for the 60? We'll reset it for you when we come back here to Iowa.